Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 19 Liverpool career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for the love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of these episodes, we're quickly going to recap on the previous. And in the previous episode, we faced off against Chelsea in the Premier League, which we played. We simulated the game against Porto in the group stage of the Champions League, and then we played the Merseyside derby against Everton. But up first, we of course played Chelsea. Now, we were 3 points clear on Chelsea. We were in first position, they were in second with a 3-point gap. If Chelsea won, they would catch us up. If we drew, we'd remain with those 3 points gap. But we went out with a game plan of beating them and pushing that 3-point gap to 6 points, and that is exactly what we did. We did beat them 3-1, and Eden Hazard was on the score sheet for Chelsea, and I can confirm Chelsea just beat Arsenal last night in the Europa League, and Eden Hazard, in an interview after the game, confirmed that he thinks it is a goodbye to the Chelsea fans and he will be departing the club. So it looks like Real Madrid are going to come in for him in the next week or two, and he will be moving to Real Madrid. Moving in then to the month of November, we decided to simulate the game against Porto. Now, we've done that well in the Champions League after playing our first 3 games, which were against Porto, Dortmund and Lokomotiv Moscow. We beat all of them, which gave us a point at the top, and we were top of the group stages with 9 points. Now, if we would have beat Porto, which unfortunately we didn't, we only managed to draw, but we did simulate it. If we'd have beaten Porto, we would have guaranteed a place in the knockout stages of the Champions League. But we are Liverpool, and we're never ever going to take the easy route, and unfortunately we only managed a 1-1 draw. But in today's episode, if we then go on, and we are going to be simulating the game against Lokomotiv Moscow, if we do beat them, then we have guaranteed a place in the knockout stage of the Champions League. If we draw or lose to Lokomotiv Moscow, then we may well have to play our final game against Dortmund just to make sure and play our best that we can to get through to the knockout stages. But the final game in the previous episode was the Liverpool derby, as Everton fans like to call it the Merseyside derby, but as we all know, it's the Liverpool derby, the red side versus the blue side of Liverpool, and we did absolutely turn up on the day. We smashed the Blues, the Toffees 4-0, absolutely killed them off, kept a clean sheet, scored 4 goals, and most importantly, bagged those 3 very important points. And then in today's episode, guys, we've got West Ham in the Premier League, Lokomotiv Moscow in our group stages of the Champions League, and then Spurs at Anfield for the final game in today's episode. I will be playing the West Ham game, playing the Spurs game, and simulating the game against Lokomotiv Moscow. As long as we win that simulated game, we're through to the knockout stages of the Champions League, which is exactly where we want to be. Also, this is a little bit off topic, guys, but I just want to throw it in there. Tonight, Call of Duty have just released a video announcing Modern Warfare, the new Call of Duty that is coming out in October this year. There is now going to be a straw poll in the top right corner. If you click the little white eye, it's a white circle with an eye in it or an exclamation or something up in that top right corner, it will be a straw poll asking you guys, would you like me to record and play and live stream Call of Duty Modern Warfare when it comes out this year? Now, the reason I'm asking it is because I got Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I think I played 1 game on it and recorded it for you guys, and that was about it. But I know you guys, or the majority of you, probably 90% of you, are here for the FIFA content. So I just thought, I'll ask you guys, because if it's a no, then I won't buy it. If it's a yes, then I'll buy it. I'll get to enjoy it myself and also make some great content for you guys. So make sure you go up in the top right corner now of the video, whether you're on iPhone, Android, Samsung, doesn't matter what you're on, laptop, computer, in the top right of the video, there should be a little white circle with an exclamation. Click it and it will open up a straw poll for you guys to vote. Simply yes, you want me to get it, or no, you don't want me to get it. Also, guys, I'm thinking this is coming out. Let me just check the date. You should be watching this on Monday the 3rd of June, which means in 2 days' time, it's been a week since I launched, or uploaded, should I say, the Liverpool Career Mode Season 2 fan objectives. If you're watching this video now and you have not seen that video, there is a chance you have won something. So please go back to the 29th. It's called Season 2 Fan Objectives Giveaway. Go and watch that video. And the reason I'm telling you this is it went live, so I'm recording this on the 30th. It went live last night. It's been 24 hours, and only 1 person has claimed their prize. I'm not going to say what prize. I'm not going to say what person, but out of the 4 items up for grabs, 1 person has claimed their... Now, by the time you're watching this, should I say though, guys, because I'm recording this and this is going to be uploaded in the future, some more people may well have claimed their prizes. They might all be gone by now. But just in case they're not, go and watch the video, because you could be sitting here right now thinking, oh, I skipped that video, I wasn't too fussed, and you might have won. So definitely go and give that a watch. But coming back into today's episode, I've just told you we're playing West Ham and Spurs in today's episode, and we're going to be simulating the Champions League game in the group stages against Lokomotiv Moscow. So let's get into this. You guys want some gameplay? Let's get it underway. And this is the lineup we are putting out against West Ham. We got Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Roberto Firmino at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gino Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back, with Alisson between the sticks. We can see that Van Dijk is not fully fit, so without a doubt, regardless of the score, whether we're winning, losing, or even drawing at half-time, Big Van Dijk will be making his way to the bench for Jonathan Tah. I'm hopeful in today's episode that Salah can also score some more goals. He started to break out at the top now. It was 1 or 2 goals in it between Harry Kane, Vasquez and Salah. Now, Vasquez is on 7, Salah's on 11. We've got a 4-goal gap. So if he can continue his scoring ways against West Ham and Spurs in today's episode, then I have no doubt that he is going to go on and get that golden boot. Now, this is episode 79. Next episode is episode 80, which is where I will be covering the fan objectives. And one of those objectives is for Mane and Salah, one of them, to score 22 plus goals to match their real life 18/19 Premier League golden boot record. Salah is already halfway there on 11. And what I'm even more shocked at is a glimpse down to 6th position. It's not Mane, it's not Bobby, it's not Timo Werner, it's not Naby Keita. It's Fabinho. Our CDM is in 6th position. He's technically joint 5th position with 5 goals. Absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe Fabinho is there. We got anyone else down the bottom? We got Coutinho down there on 3. Anyone else? No, that's it. Coutinho, Fabinho and Salah are our top goal scorers in the top 25 in the Premier League, which is absolutely unbelievable. I didn't expect Fabinho to be so high, but let's go ahead and get into this game against West Ham. Now, 2 episodes ago, we called the episode Nailing the Hammers or something like that, and you guys loved the title. And I think it's because we beat them, was it 3 or maybe even 4-0? We knocked them out of the Carabao Cup. We played absolutely unbelievable. I think it was called Hammers Got Nailed, the episode. And you guys really liked the play on words by saying Hammers Got Nailed, because at the end of the day, they're known as the Hammers. It's normally hammers that nail nails, whereas it was the other way around. It was a little bit of a play on words, and you guys really enjoyed it. So hopefully we can do the same sort of result today against West Ham. And let's try and score 3 or 4 goals. Let's get this game underway. We're talking there about Mo Salah. He scored a very impressive 11 goals in. Is this our 13th Premier League game? He is on fire at the moment, and I'm hoping he's going to continue that up next against West Ham. West Ham. Couldn't even get my words out there. And Nautovic, we kept him quiet on the day. We played very well last time we played against West Ham. So let's hope we can do it again this time round against them in the Premier League. Naby Keita up to Salah. Salah inside now to Naby Keita. Let's go, Bobby. Keep running, son. Keep going. Naby Keita going to play it through now to Bobby. Bobby through on goal. Bobby takes a touch. It's in the back of the net. Well, I turned off myself there. I did not think for 1 minute. Now, I'm going to stop doing that celebration. Someone's told me to stop doing that celebration unless it's with Brazilian players. I am going to do a different celebration for the next one. We get very lucky there. Naby Keita puts a lovely ball through there to Bobby. It takes a deflection off the defender. The keeper comes out for it. Bobby gets the touch ahead of Summer and manages to play it ahead of Summer, get round him, and then put it into the roof of the net. So considering I said there Bobby Firmino wasn't playing too well for us this season, he has just put us 1-0 up against West Ham in the 21st minute. Firmino going to ping one over now, looking for Salah. What a ball, look at this. Here comes Mo Salah now, cutting back onto that left foot, looks at bend the one. Mo Salah's at the post. Mo Salah to follow it up. It took a deflection. That was unlucky there. The ball come back across the face of goal, right into the path of Mo Salah. He gets his shot off. But unbelievable. They're number 5 at the back. The centre back for West Ham sticks a foot out and manages to keep that out. Let's put a nice ball in now to Bobby. Bobby's there. It's flicked on. Let's chase this down Trent and go out wide now to Fabinho. Fabinho inside now to Gini. Gini going to lay it off now to Naby Keita. It's 2-0. And Naby Keita is chasing Steven Gerrard's record. We know that Steven Gerrard scored 24 goals in the season of 08-09 in all competitions, not including pre-season. Naby Keita scored, did he score 6 in just pre-season? They won't count towards this record, but it's one of the fan objectives, record breaker. He's trying to beat Gerrard's record of 24 goals in all competitions. He scored 4 just in the Premier League, and hopefully he continues to score for the rest of season 3. Goes through now to Fabinho. Firmino going to wait for Mane now, and here goes Mane out wide. Come on, Mane, you've got the better of this defender. Fosu Mensah onto that right foot, looks to bend the one. Someone with a big save, and he palms it out. I forgot that when we played in the Carabao Cup against West Ham, Fosu Mensah was absolutely unbelievable, and for the whole first half kept Sadio Mane in his pocket. Ball kicked out, win that Fabinho. Nice, he's on his. Naby Keita coming forward. Naby in a bit of space, going to take it onto his right foot, let one fly. Naby Keita lets one fly. Up Balbuena's got a deflection on it, out for another Liverpool corner. Come on, Fabinho, get your head on this one, son. Everyone has told me you're great at heading, so prove them right and score. Virgil van Dijk's there. It may not be Fabinho, but Virgil van Dijk climbs above the rest and does score. And I've done that same celebration again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so used to pressing obviously RB and flicking up and down. It's just natural to me. Beautiful ball in there from Salah. Van Dijk gets there, but it is going to end up going down as an own goal, I think. Oh, it's terrible clearance there from Fosu Mensah, and we are 3-0 up, and it's not even half time yet. Go back into Fabinho. I got Bobby over the top. We're going for Naby Keita instead, who gets ahead and tried to play it across there to Bobby. It's not going to happen. And as we try and play the ball into the middle for Gino Wijnaldum to get a shot off, the referee is going to blow for half-time. We're going in with a 3-0 lead on West Ham. We have absolutely dominated them without a doubt. I have no issues bringing Van Dijk off now. Van Dijk heading to the bench for Jonathan Tah. I think realistically, we have no issues right now. I think maybe I'll look at bringing Bobby. And who's looking a little bit worse for wear out of Gini and Naby. They're very, very similar right now. So I might take Gini off eventually and bring on Coutinho or maybe Ramsey. And then I'll bring Timo Werner on for Firmino. But we have to wait and see. I'm going to play for another 15-20 minutes because, you know, injuries might happen. Some players might look a lot worse than some of the others. So we have to make sure that we're keeping the team nice and fresh and keeping everyone nice and fit. We don't want to pick up any injuries this early on into season 3. But let's go ahead and get this kicked off with Bobby Firmino. We've got Jonathan Tah on the pitch. Hopefully he'll do a duty at the back like Van Dijk has done so far. Into Bobby. Beautiful. Bobby going to hold this up now and go through now to Mane. Let's go, Mane. Come on, son. You've got the better of Fosu Mensah here. There comes Sadio Mane, going to cut back onto that right foot. Looks at bend the one. It doesn't kill in quick enough. Not enough whip, not enough finesse on that ball. And it sadly goes wide of goal. Mane. Bobby. Well, I've got no options here to play it out now to Naby Keita. He's going to take it down and hit it on the volley. Naby Keita has scored a second. What a goal from Naby Keita. And I'm not going to do that celebration. I'm going to run off to the cameras and kiss the fans at home. Mwah! Good goal, Naby Keita. What a half volley. What an unbelievable goal. Bang. Wicked shot by Naby Keita to score his 5th goal and match Fabinho's. And he may potentially now have gone from not being on the score sheet at all, or in the top 25, should I say, to now being potentially 5th. Naby Keita up the line now to Salah. Inside to Bobby. Bobby going to lay it off, and we're going to run through now with Salah. And Salah is going to get this ball. And look at getting the better of this defender. Cut back with Salah. Still going with Salah. Onto that left foot. Looks at bend the one. Bobby Firmino to follow up. Bobby Firmino scored a second. Bobby Firmino has scored a second. Now, somebody told me how to do a flex on them celebration. And I'm not sure how you do it, but we're going to go with that one there. Across the chest, on the shoulders. Do the Griezmann. Why not? Mo Salah, beautiful shot. Sommer gets a hand to it. And Bobby Firmino goes for the acrobatic. And I think with that goal coming in the 81st, I've left it a little bit late, to be honest. I should have got these players off a little bit sooner. But we will now take Gini off. And we will bring, I'm going to bring Ramsey on instead of Coutinho. I'm going to keep Coutinho for the game up next against Lokomotiv Moscow. And the last move for me should probably be Naby Keita, shouldn't it? Let me have a little look who's worse out of Salah and Naby Keita. They're both very similar. I think we need to take Salah off realistically. Salah is on fire at the moment, so he's going to come off for Junior. And then obviously we brought Jonathan Tah on earlier for Virgil van Dijk. But we're 5-0 up with 9 minutes to go. We've absolutely killed off West Ham. Don't let him get in behind. Let's keep going there. Keep running with him. Nicely done. Stick with him. No, that wasn't good enough. Lanzini down to Arnautovic. Big save there from Alisson. And that is the best chance West Ham have had all game. And it's come in the 86th minute. Arnautovic with a beautiful little bit of control there with his right boot. Brings it down onto his left foot and puts his laces through it. Can we deal with this corner? I really want to keep a clean sheet. So let's make sure it happens, lads. Ball into the middle. Deal with that now. Ball into the hands of Alisson. No problem. Playing it back to Bobby. Bobby going to whip a ball in on that left foot. Looking for Manny at the back post. Manny's there. Naby Keita to follow up. It's not going to happen. Is Manny. Edge of the box. Looks at bend them one. Not going to happen. Bobby Firmino. Nobody's there to finish off. And the referee is going to blow for full time. Well, you know what? We've absolutely just killed off West Ham. And that is the best result we could look for because we are simulating the game up next against Lokomotiv Moscow. I wanted a big win, so the morale and the energy and the happiness amongst the team was on a whole nother level. The fact we've just beat West Ham 5-0 and kept a clean sheet, without a doubt, the team is going to be on a massive high. 15 shots, 11 on target. Absolutely unreal. West Ham, 4 shots, 3 on target. The only one that bothered me was that last shot that come from Arnautovic, which without a doubt I would have left in as a highlight. It was a very good chance by Arnautovic, but Alisson stepped up and made a big save. Naby Keita picks up man of the match with a 9.5 rating and definitely 100% deserves that after he just scored a brace from 2 unbelievable goals. Right, and here we are at match day where we are about to play our 5th game in the Champions League group stages. You can currently see we are top on 10 points. Dortmund in second on 7. Porto in third on 4. And Lokomotiv Moscow at the bottom on 1 point. So I am very hopeful that we will win this game up next. Now, if you guys work it out, Porto right now, if they were to win both of their next 2 games, the one against Dortmund and the one against Lokomotiv Moscow, they can potentially get to 10 points. So if we were to lose to Lokomotiv Moscow and then lose our final game to Dortmund, then without a doubt, Dortmund and Porto could be the 2 teams to go through to the knockout stages. If we at least get a draw against Lokomotiv Moscow, puts us on 11 points, and the only change that can happen is Dortmund going above us. Obviously, if Dortmund beat Porto up next, they'll be on 10 points. If we drew to Lokomotiv Moscow, we'd be on 11 points. Dortmund could finish on 13. We would finish, obviously Dortmund would have to beat us to finish on 13. We would then finish on 11. So as long as we get a draw, or potentially what I want is a win, we are through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. And hopefully, although I've had to change it up a little bit because the team is definitely not 100% fully fit, hopefully this lineup can do a little bit of damage and get us the win that we need. We've gone with Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Timo Werner at striker, Junior out on the right wing, Coutinho and the Ox linking up in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Sandro Tonali in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Jimenez and Semedo at the back, with Alisson between the sticks. Now, 2 things I want to mention that I just remembered playing that game. Number 1, somebody left a comment, I feel like it was Spider something, about constantly doing the Brazilian dance with players that aren't Brazilian. First of all, guys, my natural go-to when I score a goal is just RB, flick it up, flick it down, get on with the celebration. I'm not that fussed about celebrations, but somebody has said, Brad, you do it a lot and you should only really do it with Brazilian players. I am going to try my best in the game that we play up next against Spurs to only do that with the Brazilian players, and I will do something else with the other players if I remember. But you have to just remember, guys, I have got into a routine of scoring a goal, doing that celebration, that's it, I'm done. That's how it always is for me. It's just I've got into a routine of it, so if I do it a lot, I can only apologise, but I will try and change it up. The other thing I want to discuss is in the previous episode, you guys said, Brad, why is Fabinho on the corners? This come from Hamza, and I've seen someone else left this comment. Why is Fabinho on the corners? He's unbelievable at headers. We then had a goal scored from a corner with a header from Fabinho in the previous episode. Now, I noticed then I did take 1 corner with him, 2 corners without him, but I noticed he's still on the corners. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the rolls, and we're going to take, although he's not on the pitch right now, so we can't do it right now, but when he comes back into the game, or onto the pitch for the game against Spurs, I will make sure that right and left corner is not Fabinho. I will take Fabinho off taking corners because you guys said he's unbelievable at headers and you don't want to waste him when he could be in the box, not on the corner flag. So I will definitely take that into mind, and we will do that after this game against Lokomotiv Moscow. But we need at least a draw. We want to win. We're simulating it, so it's not even in our hands. It's all in the hands of the EA gods. But will they be kind? Will they be nice? And will they give us that well and truly deserved win that we definitely do deserve? Let's get these players warmed up and see what damage we can do. They've drawn to Dortmund for their last game. Can we do some damage? 5 minutes in, nothing's happened. 10 minutes in, nothing's happened. Come on, lads. Approaching 20 minutes. And Mane scored in the 20th minute. That's what we want. 1-0. We need to find another. Timo Werner scored in the 32nd. Can we find another before half-time? We can't. And we are now into the second half. Talisca on for the Ox. Ramsey on for Tonali. Ramsey playing in a deeper role. Anderson Talisca playing in that central midfield role. Coutinho scores in the 71st minute. It's 3-0, and surely this is going to go all the way to the 90th minute. The referee blows his whistle, and we have indeed just beaten Lokomotiv Moscow and guaranteed us a place in the knockout stages of the Champions League. And to my surprise, as I glimpse down to the latest scores, Porto scored in the 78th minute to bring it to 1-1 against Dortmund. So Dortmund now can't even catch us. Not only are we going through to the knockout stages, but we're also going to finish top of our group. Right, and here we are, guys. At match day, we were about to face off against Spurs at Anfield. Now, before I show you the lineup, I just want to go and check that we have definitely got a position in the knockout stages of the Champions League. I'm pretty sure we have. So with one game to go, we are on 13 points. If Dortmund win their last game, it's against us. So regardless, I can now simulate that game, because if they beat us, they can only go up to 11 points. So we'll still finish top. And it doesn't matter what happens between Porto and Lokomotiv Moscow. In fact, actually it does. Tell a lie. Porto were on 5. If we beat Dortmund, they would stay on 8. If Porto beat Lokomotiv Moscow, they would also go up to 8. And then potentially they would knock Dortmund down into 3rd. They would move into 2nd, and it would be ourselves and Porto going through to the knockout stages. But I can confirm ourselves, Liverpool, in Season 3 are through to the knockout stages. It's either going to be with Dortmund or Porto. Lokomotiv Moscow can definitely not get enough points with only one game to go. It'd be absolutely unbelievable if we could beat Dortmund and then Porto won their game and knocked Dortmund down. I would rather me and Porto go through than me and Dortmund, because it just means that we've got to play Dortmund potentially again in the knockout stages. And the way we've been playing against Porto, I would much rather be playing Porto. But we'll have to see what the game, whenever we're supposed to be playing Dortmund, we'll have to work out if there's 2 other games I would rather play. Because if there's 2 big games, let's say we're going to play City and United in the Premier League, and then the other game is going to be Dortmund, I can afford now to simulate that game against Dortmund. But if it's going to be, I don't know, Newcastle, Brighton and Dortmund, I may as well play the Dortmund game, just because the Champions League game, and they're a much bigger and better team than the other 2 that could be in that episode. But anyway, guys, the game up next against Spurs, this is the lineup we are putting out. It's the usual starting 11 that you see week in and week out. It's Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Roberto Firmino at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back, with Alisson between the sticks. Now, you'll see that Mane and Van Dijk are not fully fit for this game, but it's against Spurs. They're a London club. They're a big club. We need to be putting out one of the best lineups that we possibly can. So I felt like putting Ryan Sessegnon there and Jonathan Tah at the back could mix it up a little bit. And right now, with the squad that we've got there, the way we just played against West Ham, that is the squad that needs to go out against Spurs. But I did mention a few moments ago that once Fabinho is back in the team, we will go over to Rolls and we will take him off. In fact, he's not even on the corners. We've got Salah on the left corner and we've got Gini Wijnaldum on the right. But what I'll do is I will change that to Trent, and then the right corner, maybe we just put Salah on both of them. Let's try Trent and we'll put Salah on the other one. Penalties has got to go to, it's got to be Bobby Firmino, our striker, hasn't it? Free kicks don't really matter. Captain's Virgil van Dijk. So there you go, guys. Salah and Trent are on the left and right corner. So hopefully you're happy that now Fabinho, although funny enough, Fabinho wasn't even on that corner, strangely enough. But let's go ahead and get into this game against Spurs. There is still, Chelsea must have won their last game, because there's still only 6 points between us and second place Chelsea. Hopefully whoever they're playing can do a job and maybe hold them to a draw, maybe even a win. And as long as we dominate against Spurs at Anfield, which I'm sure we will, we've got the home fans behind us. Anfield's going to be bouncing. We've just won and guaranteed a place in the knockout stages of the Champions League, and we've just battered West Ham 5-0 in today's episode. Can we finish on a high by beating Spurs 4 or 5-0 as well? Spurs versus Liverpool. We're at Anfield. The home fans are definitely going to be behind us. The hype around this game, as the commentators were saying, has been building. Spurs man Lucas Moura, we got Son, we got Harry Kane, we got Eriksen, Dele Alli, we got Trippier at the back. I think they sold Vertonghen, so I don't think they got Vertonghen anymore. Toby Alderweireld, Hugo Lloris between the sticks. But we are here to cause some damage. We are not here to play around. We are Liverpool, and we are on fire at the moment. So Spurs, in 90 minutes time, I'm sure all your fans will be leaving with a tear in the eye. Let's get this kicked off for Bobby Firmino, and let's do some damage to Tottenham. Going forward now, Firmino's going to intercept that one. Play it around now to Mo Salah. Up to Bobby, going to wait for Mo Salah now on the oval. Here we go, Salah coming in onto that left foot. Looks to Ben one. Come on, let's get it. Gino Wijnaldum trying to get the shot off. And Julian Foyth comes across to get a block on it. Absolutely unbelievable defending there from the young man, Julian Foyth. Fabinho. Naby Keita. Bobby. Back now looking for Mo Salah. Mo Salah to Naby Keita. What a beautiful work goal. What a beautiful work goal as Naby Keita runs off to celebrate with the home fans. What a beautiful bit of football from the Red Men. Little ticky-tacky football. Fabinho, Naby Keita, Bobby, Salah, flicked off the back heel of Salah, into the path of Naby Keita to put his laces through it and beat Jordan Pickford between the sticks. Now for Lucas Moura, Quincy Promes, Harry Kane, back to Quincy Promes. Here comes Eriksen now, we're coming forward, it's chipped over the top and it's in the back of the net. But Christian Eriksen scores an absolutely unbelievable goal there to pull this back to 1-1. Very disappointing when we defended. He had no other options than to bring Alisson out and try and close Eriksen down. It's a beautiful bit of football, very similar to our goal then. Lots of decent little ticky-tacky passes. And Eriksen gets through and goal, lofts the ball over the top of Alisson. Cheeky little chip there. Alisson comes down too quick, should have stayed tall. And Spurs have responded and put it back to 1-1. We're going to have to go again here, lads. Straight up, oh, we've given the ball away to Adams there, and they're going to look at getting us on the counter here again. Let's get in there, lads. Naby Keita does well to pick that up. Naby Keita then gives the ball away. That's a problem. Let's get in there. Big save there from Alisson. And Harry Kane nearly puts it to 2-1. Let's win that now with Gomez. Are we going to have a final attack? We're not, as Naby Keita picks the ball up on the halfway line. It's 1-1 at Anfield, and it's a bit of a shock result so far. I'd say we've definitely 100% been the better team. Spurs with a great counter-attack like us. Eriksen gets in behind and lofts the ball over Alisson. What more can I say? Spurs turned up when they needed to. We've definitely been the better team. And hopefully that'll show in the second half period as Harry Kane kicks us off for this second half period. Mane to Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Naby Keita. Let's try and work our way in now. Here's Fabinho. Laying off now to Naby Keita! Takes a deflection. Setting on Mane to try and follow up. It's not going to happen. It's Lucas Moura who's in a great position to clear it. Robertson down to Mane. Mane's going to let that run out. And I think in the 69th minute, we've got to make some changes and do something with this ball. So Mane is going to make his way to the bench for Ryan Sessegnon. I'm going to go... Let's go Coutinho for Gino Wijnaldum. Let's go the Ox for Naby Keita. I want to bring Mo Salah off, but I feel like Mo Salah has got as much chance of scoring than anyone on this pitch. But hopefully Coutinho and the Ox in the midfield will give us a little bit more going forwards. Because obviously Gini's a bit of a more deeper player. Naby Keita gets forwards, whereas now we've got Coutinho and the Ox who will get forwards and help out the front three. And then we've got Sessegnon, fresh legs out on that left wing that can hopefully just push on and give us a little bit more out on that left wing than Sadio Mane was. I was going to bring Van Dijk off, but I think he's got to stay on because it's only 1-1. And I don't want to risk it. Ball through now to Robertson. Lucas playing at the back. They've literally shut shop here, Spurs. And they're playing so many players at the back. And look at this. Here we go now. Playing it through to the Ox. Here comes the Ox now. Ryan Sessegnon coming in at the back post. Ryan Sessegnon, the Ox has made the difference. It's 2-1. Let's do a different celebration. There we go. Kiss the Liverpool badge. Kiss it. Ryan Sessegnon proven that he is a Liverpool player at heart. Look at that ball there. Round the back to the Ox. Could have shot. But I see Ryan Sessegnon got the better Florenzi on that left wing position. We brought Jordan Pickford out of position and played it in for Ryan Sessegnon for his second goal in the Premier League. 15 minutes to go. It's 2-1 Liverpool. Sessegnon round the corner now to Robertson. Onto the right foot. Drills a nice ball in for Mo Salah, who's there. It's headed straight at the keeper. And an easy save for Jordan Pickford. Let's roll this out to Gomez. Gomez out wide now to Trent. Fabinho, and as we play it into the middle of the park with Fabinho, the referee is going to blow for full time. It's took a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat and tears. But we managed to pull back the victory against Spurs. We went 1-0 up. Eriksen brought it back to 1-1. And it was the newly substituted players, the Ox, who gets the assist for Ryan Sessegnon's goal. Absolutely unbelievable. And Naby Keita also scores another. 12 shots, 5 on target. Very disappointed with those stats. You guys know me. Half the shots and +1. Half of 12 is 6. +1 should mean that we are getting 7 shots on target, not 5. So 2 too many off target. Spurs having 5 shots, 4 on target. Very consistent there from Spurs. Mo Salah picks up man of the match with a 9.4 rating. Right guys, and here we are back at the Central for the final time in today's episode. And would you look at that, I've now advanced all the way. We're into December, only 1 month away until the January transfer window opens. Now, don't worry about leaving transfers just yet, guys. We're going to wait until the last episode before we go into January, which I will explain in just a moment. But the next first match that we will either be playing or simulating is against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. And without a doubt, I want to be playing that game. But what an absolutely unbelievable episode we have had today. Some absolutely unbelievable goals. It was plenty of highlights, plenty of goals, and most importantly, plenty of energy. We beat West Ham 5-0. We beat Lokomotiv Moscow by simulating the game 3-0. And then we've just beat Spurs 2-1. And definitely the 2-1 victory over Spurs was the most exciting for me to play. But the most important game in today's episode, although we beat Spurs 2-1 and beat West Ham 5-0, it was to beat Lokomotiv Moscow because it was so risky simulating that game. We had to get at least a draw, if not a win. But in the next episode, I think there's 2 obvious games that we will be playing. We've got Crystal Palace in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, Brighton in the Premier League, and Dortmund for our final game in the group stages. Now, I'm not going to definitely 100% clarify which games I'm going to play, but right now I'm leaning towards Palace and Dortmund and then simulate the game against Brighton. But we are away from home in that game against Brighton, and do I want to risk losing? Because supposedly what I've seen online and what people say is when you're at home, you have a 70% chance you're going to win, but there's still a 30% chance you're going to lose. Whereas when you're away, it's 60% chance you're going to lose and only 40% you're going to win. Do we want to risk dropping points against Brighton in the Premier League? Now, realistically, we play the Palace game, we get through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We play the Brighton game, we guarantee, or I would have thought at least 90% of me guarantees us 3 points in the Premier League. The Dortmund game, whether we lose, draw or win, we're going to finish top of our group stages. So maybe I just want to play the Dortmund game more for the exciting part of it because Dortmund have a much better squad than Brighton and it'll be more fun. I'm sure there'll be plenty more highlights. But then we could do Brighton 9-0, 8-0, 7-0, and there could be plenty of highlights. So I'm not 100% sure, but as I end today's episode, I'm going to say Palace and Dortmund are the games we play, and we will simulate the game against Brighton. So in the next episode, we could be getting a place in the semi-finals, I was going to say final then, the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Now, to explain, after that episode, they're the 3 games we're going to play, which is going to be episode 80, and we're also going to look over the fan objectives. Episode 81, guys, is when I want you to start leaving comments about players we could sign in January. So we'll be playing Palace, Southampton, and Huddersfield. I think personally, I would probably play the Palace game, play the Southampton game, and simulate the game at home to Huddersfield. That is the episode 81, when I want you to smash up and absolutely blow up the comment section with players you'd like me to sign in January. Now, I have had a little thought about what I would do. So in episode 82, we would have the game against Newcastle, the game against Watford, and the game against Burnley, and we would be into the January transfer window. I've had a little idea, which I will put out in episode 81, which is to do with not buying players, but actually selling players. Now, bear in mind, guys, when we get into January, we have January, February, March, April, May, and then we finish. So there is 5 months once we complete the January transfer window or get into January, 5 months. I don't mind If you guys want me to go and sign Ronaldo, Eden Hazard, Messi, Suarez, it's the last 6 months, okay? We know what the fan objectives are. We want to complete all of them. Bringing in top quality players will only help us do that. But you guys might want to keep it realistic. We've kept it pretty realistic. Apart from probably Philippe Coutinho, every transfer we've made has been pretty realistic. Vinicius Jr., yeah, okay, it's not so realistic, but it could happen. If he doesn't get his place at Real Madrid, without a doubt, I think one day he's probably going to come to the Premier League. And we've just come runners-up in the Premier League. We're in the Champions League final against Spurs. We win the Champions League. I don't see why that won't be an eye-opener for players. Runners-up at the Premier League and Champions League winners. Why would players not want to come to Liverpool? Ryan Sessegnon plays for Fulham. They've just gone down. Okay, he's linked right now with Spurs, which is probably a little bit more realistic. But I have no doubt that a link with Liverpool could be realistic. I think we've made some unbelievable realistic signings. I think for me, Ramsey, who we got on a free, but he was a free transfer, and Philippe Coutinho are probably the only two that are out there that look a little bit unrealistic. But I will discuss in episode 81 my ideas of what we could do in January and the idea I have. And you guys can also in episode 81 let me know players that you'd like me to sign. Maybe it's an ex-Liverpool player like Luis Suarez that you'd like me to bring back to Liverpool just for that final 6 months, because you guys know once we finish in May, I'll be ending season 3 and hanging up my suit at Liverpool, and we will be starting a brand new career mode, whether that is a road to glory, whether that is taking over a team in a different league, whether that's starting again in the Premier League season 1 and taking over a team that you guys might vote for. I don't know what I'm going to do right now, but all I can confirm is you guys will have the final say, and it will be you to decide which team we go to. But that is going to do for today's episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been MassiveBrad. Peace out.